News. I'm John Kennedy O'Connor. Now, no bump there, bit of an unusual opening, and that's because we don't actually have any video at all right now. Our server has crashed, but I'm sure you'll be patient. It's going to be me reading, I'm afraid, so stay with us and we'll certainly get the 5 o'clock news to you this evening. Now, starting with last night, an improvised explosive device was discovered in Willow Creek. Just after 8 p.m, Humboldt County Sheriff's deputies responded to a report of a possible explosive device at a business on the 39,000 block of Highway 299. The person who made the report told deputies that she had possession of the device for some time and she wanted to safely dispose of it. Adjacent businesses were temporarily evacuated while the device was rendered safe. An Instagram account sent out a warning to Arcata High School students to be on campus at 1:30 today. The Arcata Police Department sent a number of officers to the campus after more than one student accessed this post. They did not locate any suspicious devices or materials or a specific threat. APD will continue to investigate the case and ensure that the school and surrounding neighbourhoods are safe. Now, at this point in the show, I was going to introduce you to Ashley for the first look at the weather, but due to our technical issues, we won't be able to do that right now. But I'm hoping I'll be able to bring you the weather later in the show. Now, moving on, there was an emergency call yesterday following reports of a life-threatening hazmat leak at a Chevron station located in McKinleyville. Eyewitnesses' reports claim to see fuel leaking from every pump at the Chevron station that is located on Central Avenue. Emergency services were immediately dispatched following the alert, but the panic was soon dismissed once the crews reached the scene. The leaking gasoline was in fact water, although the service personnel did discover some minor gasoline spills on the cement. The emergency crews used absorbent material to remove the surface gas present. Now, staying with the pumps, bad news, and gas could start getting more expensive again if it wasn't expensive enough already. OPEC is planning to slash oil production by 2 million barrels per day starting in November. It's the biggest cut since the start of the pandemic. Wednesday's news comes after the group of major oil producers, which includes Saudi Arabia and Russia, met for the first time in person since March 2020. They say the move comes, quote, in light of the uncertainty that surrounds the global economic and oil market outlooks. The White House calls it short-sighted. But the impact of this cut may be limited since many smaller OPEC producers were struggling to meet previous production targets. Still, rising oil prices could mean inflation stays higher for longer, adding to pressure on the Federal Reserve to hike interest rates even more aggressively. Now, we continue the discussion of rising oil prices, and our Skylar Gavin went out into Eureka today to talk to local areas about the increase in the price of gas and asking them how it's impacting their daily lives. Now, obviously, due to our technical issues, we can't bring you Skylar's report right now, but hopefully we will have that for you at 6 o'clock and certainly by 11. More than half of California residents are expected to receive a new stimulus payment. Direct payments of $350 to $1,050 will go out to an expected 23 million residents between October 7th and November 14th, depending on how taxes were filed in 2020. The Franchise Tax Board expects 90% of payments will be issued in October. This has been styled the middle class refund, and it was signed into the budget in June and will be sent to individuals making up $250,000 a year and couples filing jointly who earn less than $500,000 per year. Turning to employment news, the state of California beat the national average for year-over-year wage growth. According to ADP, the National Employment Report's Pay Insights for September shows that California's annual pay was 7.9% with an annual salary of $58,200. The national median rate of pay was 7.8%. The study analysed 10 million individuals over 12 months. Community members are invited to participate in the City of Eureka's budgeting process. Participants will decide how to spend $75,000 that was allocated by the City Council. 3 meetings will take place over the next few months over Zoom and in person, and participants are eligible for a $100 stipend if they are part of all 3 meetings. If you are interested, an expression of interest form will be needed to be submitted and reviewed by council members, and that will be available on their website. The Humboldt County Board of Supervisors have voted unanimously to demolish the Garberville Veterans Hall building. Unlimited Environmental will be awarded a $160,000 contract to tear down the Joyne Haynes Memorial Veterans Hall in Garberville. Deputy Public Works Director Sean Meehan told the supervisors that repairing the existing building would have cost more and recommended the board vote to demolish. Mr. Meehan has been working on developing conceptual plans for a new building, which could be constructed as soon as next year. The county-owned building was shut down back in 2016 after the discovery of black mould. A group of Humboldt County homeowners are suing the county. The lawsuit alleges that the homeowners were fined $10,000 per day for cannabis offences that they did not commit. County inspectors used satellite images alone to assess properties, which led to millions of dollars in fines. A group of Humboldt County property owners has partnered with the Institute for Justice to file a class action lawsuit. As we previously reported on Redwood News, the October 16 free concert by Sarah Bareilles at Halverson Park, announced last month by Mayor Susan Seaman, saw the ticket allocation snatched up within hours of the announcement. Now we know the opening acts for next week's concert, giving the lucky ticket holders even more reasons to celebrate. The two acts that will open for Sarah also have local ties. They are Mario Mattioli, a Humboldt singer-songwriter who grew up here in Eureka, and Huckleberry Flint, a band who first came to Humboldt's attention as street performers at Arts Alive before going on to become a local favourite. Currently, with no tickets left available, organisers are asking anyone with extra tickets they won't use to return them so that other locals may be able to attend. CAL FIRE will be conducting a planned burn that will take place tomorrow in the Bridgefield-Dinsmore area. 105 acres of oak woodland understory will be burned on Eaton Ruff's ranch as conditions allow. The prescribed fire will help manage vegetation and reduce hazardous fuels. Residents may see an increase in fire suppression resource traffic, and there may be smoke visible. I hope that wasn't too boring for you. I'm sorry it's just me, but we don't have any video yet due to a technical issue. However, coming after this short break, Scott Pesh will be from the Rotary Club of Southwest Eureka, will be live in the studio to tell us about an upcoming fundraiser. We'll be right back with that live. Despite all our technical challenges today, I am joined in the studio now by Scott Pesh, who's with the Rotary Club of Southwest Eureka, who's here to tell us about an upcoming fundraiser, which is called The Best of the Worst. Scott, welcome to Redwood News. What a day to come in.
Yeah, John, yeah, appreciate it, man.
Are you a hologram or are you real?
I'm real. I'm real today.
So The Best of the Worst, that's actually a really catchy name.
Yes.
It sounds like a fun name. What's happening?
So The Best of the Worst is our bratwurst dinner that we're putting on as a fundraiser for the Rotary Club of Southwest Eureka. We did it before, about 2 years ago, and then last year COVID had the uptick, so now we're bringing it back again. So it's our big fundraiser for the fall.
Now it's great because so many things had to fall by the wayside during COVID, so it's great to get back live.
Yeah.
Now I saw that there are a dine-in and a drive-by option. So how does the event work?
Yeah, so it's actually going to be tomorrow.
Oh.
It's tomorrow evening.
Right, of course it is.
October 6th, 5 to 7 p.m. It's going to be at the Elks Lodge here in Eureka. And you have options. You can either drive through, pick up your dinners, or you can dine in at the Elks with us. So that's how it works. Tickets are $25 a piece, and we'll talk about the proceeds and beneficiaries.
Yes, who is benefiting from this? Because the Rotary Club does a lot of work in the community.
Yeah, you know, we took a quick pivot on this one, John. We had a beneficiary all set up, but since what happened with Hurricane Ian, we decided to make all the proceeds go to, it's a Rotary District 6960 out of Florida. So they serve Port Charlotte, Naples, and also Fort Myers, which has been hit really hard. So that's where all the money is going to be directed to. And it's nice because here's a Rotary Club here on the North Coast in Eureka, and we're going to raise these funds and give them right to another Rotary Club, or clubs, I should say, plural, in Florida, help these people directly that have been affected by the hurricane. And it just feels good. It feels good to give away to people that need it.
Absolutely, and I know from our viewers, because we've had messages, that people who have friends and families in Florida have been desperately worried about the situation over there. So this is great timing. Yeah. Now, do people need tickets?
You know, they should reserve them because we sold close to 200 tickets, and we're going to have some attrition there, but I'm going to say we'll probably have enough room for like another maybe 50 to 75 dinners before tomorrow. So what you can do is go to basically just go to our website, which is going to be Southwest Eureka Rotary. If you just put that into Google. Or
it's actually swrotary.org.
Exactly. And if you can't remember it, just put down Southwest Eureka Rotary, and it'll be right there in the front page of our website. And there's a little buy button. Hit the number of tickets you want, and it'll reserve them for you. And when you come in tomorrow, we'll have you on a list, check you off, and get you fed.
And how much are the tickets?
$25.
And I assume they can pay by credit card in advance and everything on the website?
Yeah, just pay everything by credit card. Yep.
Now, tell us about the menu, because you've got some great things, definitely.
Yeah.
Brat, sauerkraut, all my favorite things.
Yeah. Well, one of our head chefs there for the club, Heider Regina, he's going to be taking care of everything. But every dinner is going to have 2 bratwursts, German potato salad, and a real nice big soft pretzel. And so it's like you can't get better than that.
No, actually, that sounds great.
And sauerkraut. I can't forget the sauerkraut. My goodness. Yeah, sauerkraut comes with the bratwurst as well.
Yeah, how could you do it without sauerkraut?
I almost left off the best thing.
Now, normally, Scott, while we're talking, we would have the graphics in the background, but you brought the poster, which is very important, because that actually does show, and we can show that to the camera, what we actually have there that's coming up. Thank you so much for bringing that.
Yeah, of course.
Absolutely. Now, tell us a little bit more also about what Rotary does in the community. We are running a little bit out of time, but...
Yeah, not a problem. I guess the real question is what we don't do. I mean, we really help a lot of sectors here. We're very youth-oriented. We're a lot of community services for parks. We're really in connection with the city of Eureka, with all the park projects they've been doing. We're in cooperation with them. We do international projects. I mean, there's really a lot of environmental projects. Our club specifically has some things that we're going to do, improvements to the Hikshari Trail that runs along the waterfront this coming, probably this coming spring, when things, after the water subsides and the rain goes away. But we just do an array of a lot of different things here in our community, and just about every section of giving back is what we do. Mm-hmm. And so kind of a general, broad answer for you, but that's where everything's going. That's where all the proceeds go.
Well, it's a really wonderful organization. I really appreciate you coming to talk to us today.
Thanks,
Scott,
John.
tell us again, remind us, time, place.
Time and place, so 5 to 7 p.m., dinner time tomorrow at the Elks Lodge. Go to our website at Southwest Eureka Rotary.
Yeah, that's on the screen. Yes, it is.
Oh, it's on there? Okay, good. And just buy your tickets ahead of time. Yeah. $25. All the money is going to be net and given to Florida, the Hurricane Ian victims there.
Well, it's a great fundraiser. I hope it's successful. It sounds like you've sold a lot of tickets already, so good luck.
Yes, thanks a lot, John.
Well, really a pleasure to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hopefully, fingers crossed, there'll be some weather next. We'll be right back and we'll find out. See you soon. Welcome back, everybody. Now, I'm going to do my best with the weather here, but as you know, I'm not Dan Romano. I mean, who could be? But we'll see what we can do to get some weather for you this evening with all our technical challenges. Oh, I'm going the wrong way already before we start. So, high pressure out over the Atlantic, but even the Pacific, but way over to the east, and there's some low pressure as well that's heading our way. But let's take a look at the futurecast to see how that's actually impacting our area. You can see all that fog slugged in at 6 a.m. this morning, 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, I should say. But as we run through the day, it's going to pull out a little bit in the south of the county, but it really is going to stay actually right there on the coast through the day. And then moving forward to Friday, again, it's going to come back inland, and even as far as Willow Glen, Willow Creek, etc., and Klamath and Redwood, we may see some fog, but it should clear off again by Friday morning, fingers crossed. Now, the winds, not too bad, actually, fairly light. They'll be picking up. The strongest winds will actually be out in Willow Creek, around 10 miles an hour, 7 miles an hour in Fortuna, everywhere else around 5 to 6, and that's actually quite gentle for this time of year. That's tomorrow, but then moving forward from tomorrow afternoon into Friday, actually the wind dropping, and through a very sort of mild Thursday night into Friday morning, very little wind indeed. Gosh, 1 mile an hour, 5 miles an hour, again, the strongest out in Willow Creek. So shouldn't be too windy out there. Now, looking at the low temperatures for tonight, pretty much the way they usually are at this time of year, nothing really dramatic. 50s in most places, the coldest spot being 46 in Redway, 49 in Fortuna, and then 50s, 53, 52 in Trinidad and Eureka. I daren't say Plymouth, I promise I'll say Klamath, and then 59 out there in Willow Creek. Now, looking ahead to tomorrow, actually quite a nice day inland, quite sunny, quite warm for this time of year. A little bit of fog towards the coast, as I say. We're not going to see much sunshine around Eureka, but we will be seeing quite warm temperatures inland, 97 actually in Willow Creek, 87 in Redwood, and 65 down in Shelter Cove. In the 70s around Fortuna, Neeland, and then 60s at the coast, 66 in Arcata, 66 in Eureka. It's times like this you realise you do need new glasses. Now, moving further north, up into the north area of our region, 64 in McKinleyville, 67 Trinidad, 67 Oric. Again, much warmer inland, 91 in Orleans, 90 in Hoopar. Again, lots of fog and cloud hanging around the coast, but nice and sunny away from the coast. 90s inland in California, Northern California is going to be very warm, very toasty indeed, and in the 70s in the Bay Area. Don't see that much often at this time of year. So let's take a look at our 7-day forecast. Actually, I'll stay this side. It's going to be 63 on Thursday, quite foggy though. There is actually a 20% chance of rain, but I don't think that's going to impact too severely. Friday, a little bit warmer, 66, and a bit of fog, mix of sunshine, and then a very nice weekend actually, 67. And then moving inland, it's going to be very warm indeed, 92 tomorrow, 94 on Friday, and then in the 90s at the weekend. Lots of sunshine, though, no chance of rain. So hopefully I did my best there. Sorry, we're having a lot of technical problems at Redwood News here tonight, but at least we got some weather out to you, and it's going to be a nice couple of days. We'll be right back after this short break. Welcome back to Redwood News Live at 5. Now, if you've been with us since the top of the show, you will know we're having a few technical difficulties and we don't actually have any video for you tonight, which is the reason I was doing the weather, and also I'm afraid you're stuck with me for the rest of the stories. But let's get on to sports. We do have some sports news for you. And as we featured the Giants yesterday, it's only fair that it's the turn of the A's today. Now, following the Athletics' big win Monday night over the Angels, where they won out 5-4, Tuesday night, the Oakland continued their winning streak and have more reasons to celebrate. After edging ahead in the 8th inning, the Oakland A's were pegged back in the 9th by the Los Angeles Angels, and last night's final score was 2-1, the A's clinching victory in the 10th. This was the second game of the 3-game series with the Angels. The final match is coming up at Ring Central Stadium tonight. Now, here in Humboldt, and with thanks to Redwood News stringer Stephanie Napoleon, we have the news of last night's Eureka High volleyball match. Eureka beat McKinleyville in 5, winning 24-26, 17-25, 25-15, 25-21 and 15-13. And after losing the first 2, our Lady Loggers fought to win the next 3. Stephanie credits McKinleyville for their great play as they fought hard to stave off defeat last night. There were some great rallies, and it was another fun night at the J. Willard Gymnasium. Mariah Napoleon had 16 kills and 4 aces. Anaya Gator had 12 kills and 1 block. Isis Poteet had 9 kills. Megan Hampton, 7 kills, 6 aces. Anisha Reshuli, 3 assists. Pule Fanoti, 7 assists. And Bridget Dunn, 2 kills, 2 blocks. Stephanie reports to us that she is super proud of her team for not giving up after the early losses and pulling together to play as a team, adding that they really showed their maturity last night. And thanks again, Stephanie, for that really great report. And actually, if you are a sports stringer and would like to provide sports stories to Redwood News, since we've lost our wonderful Maxwell Glenn, we would love to hear from you. So please get in touch, because we are looking to cover all of our high school and senior events that happen in Humboldt County, and we'd love to hear from you as stringers. And welcome back to the technically challenged Redwood News Live at 5. Sorry about all the loss of the video tonight. I hope it wasn't too dull for you, and I hope you stayed with us. We certainly appreciate doing it. We did our best to get you some news tonight. For everybody backstage, Richard, James, Ali, Pete, who've been working so hard to get us back on the air, really kudos to them. We're great that we got a news story out there. I'm going to leave you with a look at the 7-day forecast at the coast. We hopefully will be back live at 5 at 6, but certainly, fingers crossed, we'll definitely have the video back by live at 11. Thanks so much for joining us. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.